So, what's your experience going to museums? Some are fun and others are educational, even if you're on your own, but no doubt having a great docent like we had at the Sonora Desert Museum in Tucson, Arizona makes the $30 price of admission a great investment. Now, we suspect that's why 93% of the travelers give Tripadvisor a 5-star rating. So if you're ready to learn about nature's secrets with over 12,000 animals, not that we're going to see all of them today, and if you're ready to enjoy the beauty of a well-curated botanical garden, including the secrets of the life of cactus, and if you're intrigued to discover the misbeliefs of the rich natural history going beyond believing horses only arrived with the Spanish 700 years ago, while they actually roamed the Tucson area for over 2 million years. And finally, if you're ready to be in awe, understanding how we fit into the desert ecosystems, then we've been looking forward to checking out the world-renowned Tucson Desert Sonora Museum for some time. And that time is now. So, okay, off we go.
I'm gonna live a crazy dream, impossible as it may seem. Doesn't matter what the future brings, I'm gonna live a crazy dream.
This is a crested, but it does have a new one growing out of it. Because I think the ones that are they call crowned or crested, I don't know if they have arms.
Oh yeah, I think you found your first crown. Isn't it interesting the way the looks like almost like a corduroy?
Yeah.
Joyo.
Yeah, don't get
Jumping.
too close to that.
They jump right up and catch you, and then
It's
they don't let
protecting-
go.
It's protecting the crown.
Apparently, so it doesn't get crowned.
Well, it looks as though we're going to see a desert loop trail, possibly
Where's that?
coyotes,
Go ahead and give us some.
mountain,
Okay.
desert loop trail,
I see. Riparian trail recorder.
desert grassland, vulture
Grasslands.
culture, mountain woodland,
Nice.
mountain lion,
Hmm.
ancient Arizona, mineral gallery.
There we go.
I want to see that.
And what about for
Oh,
you?
that's- Hummingbird. They can be
Hummingbirds.
mean little suckers.
And let's not forget the lizards here, I see. How many of these can you find? We'll see what we see along the way.
As long as they're behind glass, I'm okay.
Oh, there's some, look at the little javelina down there. Isn't that a cute little guy? Hello, Mama. Looks like Papa with a couple little babies.
Pricing as of January of 2023 is $29.95 per adult, youth $19.95, and seniors and military both $27.95. Arizona residents enjoy a discount to $24.95 general
And it's
admission.
pronounced Saguaro. Saguaro. The G-U-A in Spanish is wa, so that we have the Spanish influence in our words, and they start from these seeds. You can pass that around and take a look at it. Okay. Very tiny seed. And they're very, very slow growing when they're young. I'm going to show saguaros that are 8 years old.
Wow, 8 years old?
Not those are 8 years old.
8 years.
Now, if you happen to be here in the May-June time frame, here's the sequence that starts. They get a white flower, which is the Arizona state flower. And when the flower dies back, we get a red fruit, and that's where the seeds are. And yes, the fruit is edible, but it only grows at the top. So it's not easy to get. If you look in the wall behind you, you'll see a mechanism the natives use for getting it.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Extension cord.
Yes, not easy to get.
Have you tasted the fruit?
I have.
Is it good?
To me, it tasted like a sweet but not overly flavorful melon.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's sweet, so you've got carbohydrates, you get sugars in there. And I tried, have you ever had like a cantaloupe that wasn't quite ripe and
Yeah.
there wasn't a lot of flavor?
Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of what I thought the
Okay.
flavor was, but it was very sweet.
Hear me, Anthony.
seeking.
Maybe still a little light.
Misplaced all my love and way of thinking. Carried in the current of last year. Help me, Anthony.
Great scenery.
My mistakes are finally catching up.
see that. Yeah, that's cool. Very interesting.
I ignored the simple acts of love. Let them rust all bundled up with greed.
Grace. This place used to be filled with water. Did you know that 250 scant million years ago you would be swimming or not standing? A warm, shallow sea covered this area. Over millions of years, mud settled to the bottom, burying the remains of abundant marine life. Look closely and you can see fossil shells hardened in the mud.
Do you remember that time period, Michael?
Not very well. It's kind of a little bit fuzzy, but as I get older, yeah, I reminisce about the good old days.
Definitely want to go into.
Call me a fossil. Gorgeous. Look at all the Saguaro covered all over the mountains around us here. And down we go.
Creosote here, having nothing to do with creosote we put on the street. To the Native Americans, this was their drugstore. Depending how you use the flowers, the leaves, the roots, and you'll have to ask somebody who knows. I'm not. But when it rains here, you get a certain odor. Okay. What I want you to do is come over and breathe on these leaves to give them moisture, and then smell it.
Okay.
And you'll get what we call the smell of the desert.
Smell of the water. So breathe on them, you said?
Breathe on them, give them a little moisture.
Yes, that tangy. Oh, yeah.
That's the
I'm sick of seeing all the times I chose the lie. And tired of being reminded of my measured time to make things right. Your passion is something that I'm seeking to emulate, although my actions flaw. Lost and I don't know where I have been.
Anybody here from Colorado?
Colorado River.
It's the Colorado River. It's water brought here from the Colorado River to seep back down into the aquifer, which is under this valley. The term is called CAP, or Central Arizona Project. The water was initially brought here, I think, in the early 90s, late 80s, and the initial plan was to mix it with well water, but there were chemical issues. And so they find that if they put it in what's called recharge basins and let it seep back down into the aquifer, everybody's happy. So people in Tucson, for the most part, will tell you they don't drink water from the Colorado River. They're wrong. Yes, they do.
It's drying up.
Yes, they do. Well, that's a problem. Lake Mead has got certain treaties associated with it, okay? We're probably going to lose this water. Now, the water company has told us that they've banked a number of years of water in this aquifer, okay? And losing Lake Mead water will probably significantly affect farming, probably not people, but farming eventually affects people. Until a couple of years ago, I would have told you they're in Mexico. And then somebody got a topo map and said, no, they're not. They're on the other side of the border. But they're right at the border.
So the border of Mexico is right straight this way,
Yes.
with those two bumps at the beginning of the mountain.
Yes.
That's what, about 100 miles?
Wow.
Nogales?
I would have guessed 50 to 60.
That's the Sonora, the state of Sonora in Mexico, yes.
And Nogales is a city that's right
Nogales is actually a city in
Tucson?
both countries.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's Nogales, U.S. and Nogales, Mexico, and there's just a border between. 10,000 years ago, North America was in an ice age. It didn't come here, but surely it affected the climate here. And it was much wetter. And so there were many large animals here, okay? And when probably the ice retreated and it dried out, there wasn't enough food. So they probably didn't survive. There were also horses here. Now, most people think horses were brought here by the Spanish. They were reintroduced. The horse had gone extinct, but it originally was here. But like the mammoth, when the climate changed, it didn't survive. There were also people here called the Clovis people. And the Clovis people they know from this particular spear point that they make. They also are gone. And they can't figure out how they got here. There were lots of theories that they crossed the Bering Strait, came through an opening in the ice sheet, but the current dating of when they were here, that couldn't have happened. So you all know what a theory is, right? A theory is based on what we know now, and it may change when we get more information. We don't know what happened. They also have found indications of Clovis people on the East Coast. So some very, very interesting things that I'm not smart enough to tell you about, that people are still investigating. Where did they go and how did they do it? But I want you to look at this picture. Why would these young folk hunt an animal so dangerous when there was so much other wildlife? We believe it's a rite of passage for young males, because somebody who analyzed this picture said they're about to die. These were very, very large animals. And they know from finding these that they found spearheads inside the bones. So they know they were hunted. To be called tequila, it must come from blue agave. If it comes from anything else, they can call it mezcal, but they can't call it tequila.
That's blue agave?
That's blue agave. And what they do, and this is small, they let it get bigger. They take all the leaves off until they've got what they call the pineapple, and then they roast that. And then they ferment it somehow. But I want to show you some interesting things about agave, so come on in here. One of the things about agaves, and this is an example, a lot of people landscape with them, they're really pretty, is they get a flower at about 25 to 30 years. You can see a flower growing up back there. See that long stem?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Going up 15
The
feet.
plant will now die.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it puts so much energy into producing the flower that it dies. And so when people landscape and they say, look at my agave, look at that beautiful flower. Guess what's coming, folks?
Yeah. It's time to plant a new one.
Right.
Thanks for coming along. We enjoyed showing you a portion of the many things we learned from our fabulous tour guide. And we hope someday that you will get the opportunity yourselves to visit this incredible place. Until next time, happy trails!
Now in North America, we have 4 deserts.
Okay.
We have the Great Basin Desert, which goes actually all the way up to Canada. We have in California and Nevada, a little bit in Arizona. What is that desert?
Mojave.
Huh?
Mojave.
Huh?
Mojave.
Mojave Desert, thank you. The signature plant of which is the Joshua tree. And then over here in Texas and New Mexico and northern Arizona, we have the Chihuahuan Desert. And then here in Arizona and Mexico, we have the Sonoran Desert. And that's what we do here, is the Sonoran Desert.